Instant gratification feels harmless. A click, a scroll, a treat, but it's costing you far more than you can think. But what if I told you it's costing you far more than money? In this video, I'll break down the hidden costs of instant gratification, financial, psychological, and even the lifestyle ones that most people never notice until it's too late. I'm a process planning and quality manager. I audit systems and waste for a living, including financial ones. And only when I started applying those systems to my personal finances, it's when I saw real change. The dopamine trap. Have you heard about that? Basically, instant gratification isn't an accident. It's engineered. Our brains are wired for immediate rewards. We call this temporal discounting. Basically, temporal discounting, also known as delay discounting or time discounting, is the tendency of people to discount rewards as they approach a temporal horizon in the future or the past. Basically, it becomes so distant in time that they cease to be valuable or to have addictive effects. To put it another way, it is a tendency to give a greater value to rewards as they move away from their temporal horizons and towards the now. In other terms, a reward that is happening now is much greater in impact and gives you so much joy than a reward that you will get in the future. That's how our psychology is wired. We overvalue the now. Look at social media, for instance. You are scrolling for hours and you are seeing so many things that are triggering you to buy. And there are so many apps and e-commerces that are capitalizing on that. In behavioral economy, it's called the nudge. So basically, you have so many triggers that are nudging you to make a choice. And you are triggered by likes, notifications. You are basically in a dopamine loop. Have you ever been scrolling through Amazon, for example, and you see so many items where you see 2 items left, only 5 items left, and you are so nudged to actually click on it and see, oh, if there's only 2 left, maybe I should make a choice right now. So it's basically creating a frictionless journey into your brain that is removing the time where you will actually think about that purchase and you will distance yourself from it. And maybe you think, I shouldn't be buying it because I don't really need it. So by adding those emergency or like these urgency triggers of only 2 left, this discount is only gonna be lasting for 24 hours, and then you have a countdown, for instance, and you're like, oh, I have to make this decision now. So by capitalizing on those nudges, e-commerces are triggering you to do this now, and you are already in that dopamine loop. So making that decision is gonna be super easy because you're not gonna be thinking about it for so much. It's like a psychological setup. It's capitalizing on your impulsivity. You're not weak. It's a system that is designed to outsmart your willpower, basically. And through these dopamine loops, you have created more financial leaks that you don't even see. Your financial drains take so many shapes. You have your subscriptions, for example, that you actually buy once and you forget about it. Payment is on autopilot, and each month you have some money taken out of your account because you're paying for subscriptions that you're not even using, by the way. It's like death by 1,000 cuts. You know that annually a lot of Canadians are paying for so many subscriptions they are not even using. If we check the latest reports that are sent, you would be surprised by how much we're paying for things that we're not even using or forgot that we even have paid for it. It's not just the small purchase that is draining your finances. If you distance yourself a little bit, you would think about the opportunity cost. The opportunity cost is what's really adding that drain. Now, if you are not really paying for $20 subscription that you're forgetting on a monthly basis, if you think about actually adding that money into your investments, it will create so much change. If you are putting all of those here and there spending habits that are draining your finances into your actual investment portfolio, things will be much different in like a year time, in 5 years time, because you're capitalizing on one very important factor, that is the factor of time, that is creating that compounding power. It's like a machine that is working in the background and generating money for you. It's building your wealth. So if we think about it, those instant gratification triggers that we talked about earlier those notifications, things you feel like, I need to buy this, I want to buy this, it's instant, I enjoy this, it's given me that dopamine rush, the smell of something new, unwrapping that box, getting that notification that your order has arrived, and it's given you all of those thrills. Now, if you think about it, how long will that thrill last for? It's very, very short lived. Instead, you are really sacrificing a lot of happiness in the future, more financial freedom, more independence. Think about what you're sacrificing, basically. I think many people have the drawer of shame at home, where you have one drawer that is filled with so many gadgets, electronics, things that you don't really need, but you actually purchased on a whim, and you are too ashamed to throw them away because you feel like you wasted a lot of money on it. And this is also reinforced by the haul culture that we're living in through social media, sadly. Big unboxing videos that are pushing people to do the same. Basically, overconsumption turned into entertainment. We're consuming other people's consumption for entertainment. And how many of us have seen those videos of beautiful aesthetic kitchens with plastic compartments for storage, etc., and how much waste is that creating? And it's not just financial waste, but like if you think about it in terms of plastic, in terms of consumption, we're putting different containers into other containers. What's wrong with a bottle of syrup that you got? You need to empty it in another bottle that you label syrup. We already had a perfectly good bottle that had syrup on it. So we are creating extra needs, and we're fueling them by our consumption and watching those videos and wanting to do the same and getting influenced by that. Now answer me this. Do you identify with any of these aspects? Do you feel like the haul and unboxing culture is really having an impact on you? Let me know down in the comments. So our instant gratification has been modeled into a lot of our day-to-day aspects, and this is why a lot of us are not even realizing it. Basically, the true cost is not that purchase. It's what that money could have gotten you. It's what that money could have become if it were invested by factoring compounding over time. If you're enjoying the video so far, it would mean so much to me if you would subscribe. In this part, I'd like to talk about the illusion of choice, that sadly we feel detached from it more and more because we feel like we have been giving things on a silver platter. We're basically served content that is aligned with what we want, with what we desire, with what we have talked about, with what we have maybe added to our basket, etc. So if we feel like we know what we want, it's our choice, it's our decision. But these algorithms are triggered in a way to serve you just what you think you might need. Take the example of you watching a video of a recipe, and all of a sudden your feed is full of knives, kitchen gadgets, and all of these things that you were seeing in that video. And even if you haven't really thought about it, you start thinking about that purchase because it's like, oh, this is targeted to me. How did they know that I was actually looking into this? So those algorithms are getting more and more targeted. A study showed that 35% of Amazon's purchases are coming from recommendations. It's when the algorithm is recommending something to you and you feel like it is tailored to me. I'm special. I chose this. This is for me. And you're not just getting notifications, you're getting email. This deal is just for you and you feel so special. Hey, the algorithm really knows me so much. So even if something you're not really thinking about buying, then you start to think about it. And it's creating that illusion of how you need it. And then it tells you how many people have seen this or other people have purchased this as well, etc. So those personalized nudges based on behavioral economy are triggering you to act on these nudges, if you will. It's more of an algorithm manipulation. It's creating that false sense of control, guided by predictive models. When you realize that the system is designed to nudge you, you regain power by stepping out of autopilot. You don't beat instant gratification with willpower, you beat it with systems. We talked earlier about how those nudges are contributing to you making that decision without so much friction because it's encouraging you to do it now. So you are not distancing yourself from that decision. Now, when you know that, when you are aware of those things, when you are aware that the system is designed to outsmart you, people are studying this, psychology, behavioral economy, marketing, so all of these things are triggered to outsmart you. And if you are not just a simple consumer, if you start to think about this, then you are aware of how these things are designed, and you are aware of the mirage, if you will, or of the lie that has been fed to you that instant gratification is more important than future rewards. When you start to distance yourself from these things, you are more aware, you are making more conscious decisions. The goal is not for you to stop buying anything, but for you to be aware of the things that you need to buy. We're not removing all of the subscriptions after this video, and we're cutting down on anything that brings us joy. Absolutely not. I don't believe in cutting joy. I believe in balance. But making sure that you have all those systems unpacked, you understand how things are working, you understand how can you make better decisions. So if you are nudged to buy, to distance yourself from that decision, maybe you can use the same thing to nudge yourself to invest, to nudge yourself to save. A lot of people are using this method, which I personally use as well, for sinking funds. Basically, in my bank account, I don't just have one saving account. I have small buckets of saving accounts up to a certain extent because I'm investing the rest. But those small buckets of saving accounts I have for specific expenses, like for travel. I have a sinking fund for travel. I have a sinking fund for personal. When I want to buy something, I add money to it. I'm financing my future purchases. I'm basically giving myself an allowance. And I also have a fund for gifts, because gifts is also important for you to give to your loved ones. So I also have a sinking fund for this, and I'm financing. Okay, some months I would finance this more because I know I have a gift coming up, a birthday coming up, or a holiday coming up. So I'm financing my travel sinking fund more. But basically, it's like you're giving yourself an allowance and you're limiting yourself to that. So you are conscious. You know that you need to buy that and you're financing it. Same thing with your finances. It should be in autopilot. You should not be thinking about it, except for every now and then you need to review your portfolio and adjust accordingly. Create those systems. Nudge yourself with your investment portfolio, with your savings, etc. If it's there in front of you, you are always aware of it and you're happy to see them grow. Now, I watch my portfolio all the time, and I know that sometimes I don't really get happy or sad if it fluctuates, but I like to see it. I like to see the growth. I like to see how this is really happening, and it's encouraging me to do more. I'm checking and see how can I rebalance it, etc. So I feel more conscious about my spending because I feel like I'm wasting a growth opportunity when I just spend recklessly. When we talked about the instant gratification and how it's impacting our psychological, our lifestyle, our finances, it's not just about the financial aspect. If you are hooked to the dopamine traps, and if you are hooked to overconsumption culture, you are cluttering your life. You are making decisions unaware of all of the consequences. You are not really gaining control of your life. You're basically a passive passenger moving around and following other people and just consuming, and that's it. It's very important for us to have those reflections, to think about why we make certain choices, why we do the things we do, what's the reason behind that. And that really helps you gain so much perspective. If you liked today's video, make sure to watch this one. Thank you for hanging out. See you next week.